Thank you. All right, so now I get to say it officially. Welcome to Hebrew Fundamentals with me, Mr. Katzman, where you know what we're going to do. We're going to try to learn how to pronounce Hebrew letters and Hebrew vowels all put together to make words and how to sound them out and pronounce them the right way. And of course, the way that we do that is you have to know the letters and you have to know the vowels. And one way to absolutely check yourself to say, wait a minute, wait a minute, wait a minute, am I sure that I've got it right? Ta-da! You got to have your decoding sheet. So when we check it, when you're trying to figure it out, and then after I give the answer, how we can make sure that we're on the right letter and why each letter and each vowel sound the way they do, you can have your very own decoding chart that tells you, aha, that's why that letter makes that sound. That's why that vowel adds that sound. So have this. It's a really big help. Now, you know how I love to talk about the vowels because they're super important. They change everything. They change everything. But what are vowels? Well, we've got A, E, I, O, U, and sometimes Y. They have a bunch of dots and dashes that add sound to the letter above them or the letter below it. So we're going to do a speed version because we've been doing this all year long, but it's always still important to warm up. We're not going to warm up with those big giant ones. We're going to warm up with the whole kit and caboodle. Ready? Here we go. What's that first one? One dot. E. It adds the sound of E. So whenever you see one little dot, now I don't have all my little superhero characters, but I do have Superman. And the Superman logo means that this is a superhero. It's the strongest one there is because no matter where you see this, it always adds the sound of E to the letter above it. Always. Always. So if this was a bet, second letter, first top row, it would be B-E-B. If it was a gimel, top row, fourth letter, it would be G-E-G, and on and on. If it was a mem, me. If it was a sheen, she. One dot, don't ever, ever worry about it changing because it's a superhero. It adds the sound of E. Next one, more dots. We're in the dot business. What can I say? Are you ready? It doesn't matter because we are now speaking more like people of the desert, people from Israel. Um, two dots, three dots. It's still the same sound, and that happy little sound is eh. So if this was a bet and that was a bet, it wouldn't matter because this would be be, and this would be be. If this was a resh, it would be re, and that would be re. E, e. Two dots, three dots that look like a little triangle. Let's get out of the dot business. Remember, if it's a flat line or a horizontal line, it adds the sound of ah to the letter above it. Now, I know they look a little different. Sometimes the little T could have a little longer stem. Sometimes it's kind of a stubby little stem. It doesn't matter. This is because they're lines. So, bet ba, same thing. What if this was a nun? Nun na, same thing. Na. Or ma and ma. It doesn't matter. Whatever letter is above it, this is going to add to it. So we've got e, ah. Lots of sounds. Here's no sound at all. That is a silent vowel. I know. It's dots. But they're special dots because they are right on top of each other. And when you see those dots right on top of each other, it's a silent vowel, which means it adds no sound at all. This letter has to do the job that it does all by itself. So that bet, this would just be b, silent vowel, make the sound b. If it was a dalet, which makes the sound of the letter D, it would be D. You want to find that dalet? I will. Top row, fifth one, D. If it was a Zion, top row, last one, it would just be Z, because it's a silent vowel and it tells the letter up above it, you gotta make the sound that you make all by yourself. I can't add any sound for you. So what do we got? E, silent. Let's go to the playground with those kickballs. Here's kickball number one, way up in the air, way up in the air. When it is overhead or above it, you do the sound of O, overhead, above, in the air. Now this all by itself, see the dot? It's on top, it's above it, it's overhead. This all by itself, you know it. That's the sound of O. That is O. But don't be tricked. Don't forget, if there's a dot above a letter and it's a vowel, it adds the sound of O. So if this was a mem, it wouldn't be m, it would be mo. If this was a tav, it wouldn't just be t, it would be to. If this was a lamed, it wouldn't be l, it would be lo. O, add O. Turner. Now, same kickball, not way up in the air where you go, oh, but right into your gut, right into your tummy, right into your stomach, knocking the air out of you so you go, ooh. When you see this, this is the sound of ooh. Ooh. But there's another way to get that sound. This all by itself is the sound of ooh. This adds the sound of ooh to the letter above it. Slant, oops. Someone just wanted to come in. Hello. So, if you see this tilted, slanted, angled little stairway of dots, it adds the sound of ooh. So, I don't know. Why don't we go out in the meadow and find ourselves a cow? If this was a mem, it wouldn't be m, it would be moo. If this was a nun, it wouldn't be n, it would be no. If this was a cuff with a cuff drop, want me to find it? I will. Second row, fourth one, it would be coo. E, silent. Oh, ooh. Two more exceptions. There they are all together. You ready for this one? Becomes a. Why? Well, that's funny. Why? Because there's a Y after it, because there's a yud. Now, if this was a bet, you're thinking, okay, it's got to be be. It's not. Because of that yud, becomes a. So it wouldn't be be, it would be bay. Bay. If it was a dalet, it wouldn't be de, it would be day. And you know this, you know it all by yourself already. I will always, always, always highlight those crazy little changes, those exceptions in yellow for you. A. And we already learned that this is but sometimes it's not. When there's a yud after it, becomes I. So if this was a gimel, it wouldn't be ga, it would be gai. If this was a chet, it wouldn't be cha, it would be that wonderful Hebrew word chai. Chai. A, I. All right. Hooray, hooray, hooray. Okay, everybody, you know the drill. Here is the drill. I am going to tell you that I'm going to show you flashcards that I've made up, a special for today. And there's always, almost always, a theme, and today is no exception. I do have a special theme for today. And I will tell you what that theme is. Now, what I'm going to do is hold up this flashcard, and with the clues that I give you, it's your job to figure out how to pronounce all the letters and vowels that are back to back to back to back to back, and pronounce them one at a time until you make the sound of the word in front of you. It's that simple. So, like, if I said, if the clue was, okay, the theme for tonight is football. And the answer is, the clue is, Katzman's favorite team. And you looked up and you went, "Ooh, wait a minute. Eagles. Oh, Eagles. I get it. Eagles." Now, you don't shout it out and you don't yell it out. You just say it to yourself. And if you get the right pronunciation before I tell you what it is, you get the points. Give yourself the points. And if you get all the points you need, if you get all the points that give you the kind of total at the end, that I tell you is prize worthy, because I got prizes, you get to come in and get a prize. So now that we've got all that Michigas out of the way, well, that's an old-fashioned Yiddish word. Let's use hot pink today. Dun, dun, dun. Score. All righty. Here. Ooh. I have a Philadelphia Eagles balloon, and I'm going to use the little clip that they gave me. I'm going to tear this off. Here we go. Ready? Today's no, we've got a holiday coming up, a really big holiday. Guess what? It's not an American holiday. It's a special holiday. It's a super D special holiday. And it's not an official Jewish holiday. That's not right. But it's a Israeli holiday. And all of us Jewish people around the world, because we have feelings like we do for Israel, we help celebrate this holiday with them. It's called Israel Independence Day. We have the 4th of July. We have July 4th, or some people call it the 4th of July. That's our American Independence Day. Israel has one too. This is how you say it in Hebrew. Good luck. Don't be scared. It's a real live Hebrew word. There's two words. The first word's really, really short and little. And the second one, which is how you say independence, is a little bit longer. But never, ever, ever let these words scare you. Because instead of them controlling you, you control them by going letter and sound, letter and vowel, make the sound and make the next sound, add it, make the next sound, add them all together until you can pronounce the word. This is how you say Independence Day in Israel, because it's coming up. You ready? I will make this worth 12 big points. Don't be afraid. Ta-da! Pretty cool, huh? That's a word. It's like, oh no, he's giving us real live Hebrew. Help! It's okay. Make the letter, sound it out, and then make that sound. Ooh, it looks like I got a vowel here. And figure out what that letter is. Wow, what is that? And then letter and sound, add them together, then add that one, and there's another vowel, and there's another letter. This is how you say Independence Day, or as we say in Philadelphia, Independence Day. Really, if you go to Philadelphia and you go to Independence Hall, to see where the Declaration of Independence was written and all of the great fathers of our country gathered to write those extraordinary documents, people from Philadelphia will say, "Oh, are you going to Independence Hall?" Oh, well, it's a Philly thing. Do you think you got it? Do you think you got it? Do you think you got it? That's a word. That's a word. See, we say Independence Day. They have it backward. Well, not backwards. They have it different. They have it reversed. They say Day of Independence. They say Day Independence, which means Independence Day for us English speakers. Does anybody think they got it? I hope you do. I hope you do. I always start out by giving you a little extra time. Here I go. This is worth
How many
12.
points?
This is 12 big, fat, juicy, 1 dozen points. Like a dozen donuts, a dozen points. Are you ready? Independence Day in Israel is called Yom Ha'atzmaut. That's hard to say because you got to do it back here. Yom Ha'atzmaut. That's how you say Independence Day. Yom Ha'atzmaut. In fact, we're having a Yom Ha'atzmaut celebration here at Temple Beth Shalom. And I think it's Thursday night. Pretty sure. Anyway, there's going to be all sorts of Israeli food and Israeli dancing and Israeli music, obviously. So let's figure out why this is Yom Ha'atzmaut. Ready? First word, Yom. That's a yud, everybody. It's a real live letter, I swear. It's floating up there, but it's a real letter. You want to find it? You want to find it? Second row, third letter. It makes the sound of the letter Y. Y, 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 y. But there's nothing above it, nothing below it. But I can't ignore it. So I still have to make the sound Y. What's the next one? It's a vowel. It's that O. So Y, O, yo, yo. What is that? I swear it's a letter, everybody. It's called a final mem. I know. Hebrew does that to us. They actually have a bunch of letters where they say, if you're gonna use this letter at the end of a word, you have to use the final letter of it's the final version, the final kind of letter. This is what a final mem looks like. It makes the sound of the letter M. You want me to find it? I will. Third row, the very first one. It pretty much just looks like a square. Yom. Yom. In fact, if you go to the second row at the very end, on the other end, that's what a regular old mem looks like. But if you go to the next line, first one, that's a final mem. Yom. All right, here we go for the craziness. Are you ready? Here comes ha'atzmaut. Everybody, that's a hey. It kind of looks like you're beginning a little maze, and you go in here and you start. You want me to find it? Top row, third from the end. It makes the sound of the letter H, which is pretty much, the H doesn't make any sound except blowing out air. But if you add the ah to it, ha, ha. What's that? Oh my goodness. What is that? It's an ayin. It's a silent letter. It really, really is a letter. It kind of looks like someone relaxing in their chair and going like this. It's silent. But the space is not silent because there's a vowel underneath it. So it's ha, ah, silent letter, but the ah sound, yom, ha, ah. Well, this looks like someone who's kind of bending down but has their arms in the air. That's called a tzadi. Want me to find it? I will. Bottom row, first one. It makes the sound of TS together, like ts, let's, it's, what's up, ts. We don't have any words in English that really start with that. Well, there's this funky little fly, like a house fly that flies around in Africa, and it's called the tsetse fly, Tsetse, the tsetse fly. Other than that, you got to know the sound that TS makes by imagining that sound at the end of words. So, ha, ats, mem. Hey, we found a regular mem. There's a final mem. There's a regular mem. It looks like a little igloo. It looks like a little ice house with a little chimney. Guess what? Guess what? If you're cold and you're in an ice house with a little chimney, you got to wear your mucklucks. Mem, ma, yom, ha, ats, ma. Ooh, there's the oo vowel. Remember, it's right in its tummy, so it's not oh, it's ooh. Ha, ats, ma, ooh. Tav. It's got a little hook that you could hang your hat on or hang your keys on. Want me to find you? I will. Bottom row, last two. Whether it's got a dot or not, it's still a tav and it still makes the sound of T. Ha, ats, ma, oot. Yom ha'atzmaut. Israeli Independence Day, when Israel became its own, the rulers of their own country. They had their own country. Finally, after all that time, we had our Independence Day in 1776, right? Theirs was not that long ago. Not that long ago. Oh, by the way, you got your 12 points, I hope. You ready? Here's the next one. So when did Israel win its independence? When did the state of Israel, the country of Israel, be able to say, finally, we have our own official country? I'll tell you when. You ready? Well, it was a long time ago, but not that long ago. The year was 19 this. The year was 19 this. I will give you 10 points. 1920 something? I don't know. 1970 something? I don't know. 19 this is when Israel won its independence. Tartar. 10 points. Israel declared its independence as its very own country. That people who lived there could say that this is our country and we get to vote and we get to live here and we get to be free in our own country. And the year was 19 this. I'll give you 10 points if you get it. I will. I promise. I'm a nice guy that way. Make the sound. Nothing above it or below it. Let's go to the next one. Ooh, there's a vowel. There's a letter with its vowel. There's a letter with its vowel. Figure out what to do with that. Whoa, hello. Looks like one of those exceptions. And there's a letter. 19 this was the year that Israel won its independence. I hope you get it. I hope you get it. I'll give you 10 points if you get it. I have a feeling you're getting really good at this, so I don't need to give you that much more time. Are you ready? Are you ready? Are you ready? Guess what, everyone? You get 10 points if you figured out that the state of Israel won its independence in 1948. 1948. Seems like a long time ago, but when you think that the United States won its independence in 1776, like more than almost, I don't know, 200 years or 175 years before. Wow. Wow. We're a lot older than Israel. But then there's all those countries in Europe, and man, they've been around forever and ever and ever. But check it out, 1948. So why does this say 48? Let me show you. Upside down G thingy with no dot in the middle. It's called a fay. You want me to find it? I will. Third row, second from the end. It makes the sound of the letter F. Nothing above it, nothing below it, but I can't ignore it. F, f, f. Ooh, look at that. An O. Faux. That's a resh. It's got a nice little curve. You want me to find it? I will. Bottom row, fourth one. Makes the sound of the letter R. What's underneath it? A silent vowel. So I just have to make that resh make its own sound. For, and that's a tav. Remember we had that tav, whether it's got a dot or not. And what's underneath it? A superhero. For T. Now remember I told you this, but it's always bears repeating, which is a nice way of saying you got to remember it and say it again. This is a yud. In the old days, this was not a superhero. And you needed this yud to turn this eh into e. But now we are talking like Israel. There is no eh. Eh is a sound from America, from Europe. Yuck. E all the time. For T, uh-oh, that's an aleph. You want me to find it? I will. It's easy. They call it the aleph bet. It's the very first letter in the alphabet or in the alphabet. It's a silent letter, believe it or not. But the space is not silent. What's underneath it? Eh. No, it's not. There's that yud after two dots, which turns it from eh to a. A. 48. And there's my tav. 48. 1948. Israel won its independence. How cool is that? Let's go to the next one. And that was 10 points. Are you ready? Are you ready? Are you ready? I'm going to give you, I can't believe I'm giving you this word. When I wrote it down, I thought, I wonder if that's too hard. Well, there really isn't a word that's too hard, even if you've never heard of it, or even if you're like, oh my God, that's like college vocabulary. That's like high school vocabulary. This is a word that every Jewish person should know because it kind of defines and says to the world for way, 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 way too long, this is where we were. And then when Israel won its independence, this word could end. See, there were always people in the land of Israel. Maybe it wasn't called Israel. Maybe it was called, ever since God, at least the story goes, that God spoke to Abraham and promised him the land and said, I will give your people a land. And ever since Moses led the Hebrews out from slavery to our homeland, we've always had Israel there, but we haven't been there for thousands of years. And that spreading out of the Jewish people, of being kicked out of our own home, just because the other people who lived there were bigger and stronger and meaner and they booted us out. There's a word for that. There's a word for that. It's a kind of a cool word that we were kicked out and spread out throughout the world, hoping one day to come back to Israel. Are you ready for this word? Even if you've never heard it, just sound it out because it's a word that all of us should know. Ready? The Jewish people being kicked out of our own land, hoping to one day come back and being spread all over the world was called this word. We're going to learn something today. Letter by letter, sound by sound. What the heck is he saying? I've never heard of that word. It's okay. We'll learn it together. We'll learn it together. This means this word is how the Jewish people no longer were allowed to live in the land of Israel and were spread out all over the world. And they called it this. It's a really fancy word. But trust yourself. All of you have proven to be really, really good decoders of Hebrew. And so if you just trust
Many
your, oh, did I not say it? Maybe I didn't. Let's make it another 12 because it's a new word. It's a brand new word. Let's make it another 12. Um, Even if you've never heard it and you've never seen the word before, all you have to do is trust your decoding skills, sound it out. And if it sounds weird in your mouth, like, well, I've never said that word before, it's okay. Sound it out and say it. Even if you're saying it for the first time, you'll get it right. You'll get it right. See if you can figure out that word, which means all of the Jewish people who once had a place to live were booted out and said, don't come back. They said, don't come back. And so, you know what we said? Fine. Okay. I guess we're going to have to make our way in the rest of the world and find new homes and be successful and become special, continue to be special, and keep our faith no matter where we are. Are you ready? Are you ready? The word is, I hope you get all 12 points, diaspora. Diaspora. How about that one? The diaspora. The diaspora. I'll say it one more time. My nephew told me if you say something 3 times in a row that you'll never forget it. So you ready? Diaspora, diaspora, diaspora. It's important to our history because, yep, we were booted out. We were booted out. And we said, you know what? We're going to stay strong and one day we'll come back home. So why is this diaspora? Dalit, da. Oh, that's a dalit, by the way. We haven't had it today yet. See how it's got a nice corner there? It's like a right angle. Well, it makes the sound of the letter D. Want me to find it? I will. Top row, fifth one. Dalit, da. Let me fix this. There. Dalit, I, die. Remember during Passover? Ilu, ilu, hotzianu, hotzianu, mimitzrayim, hotzianu, mimitzrayim, dayenu. Just like that. Die. Die. Aleph. Silent letter, but what's underneath it? Die. What is that? Kind of looks like a cartoon face with no real facial features. It just looks like a cartoon head with a little flip of hair. It's called a samach. It makes the sound of the letter S. You want me to find it? I will. Third row, fourth letter. Die. S. Pay. Upside down G thingy with a dot in the middle. It's called a pay. It makes the sound of the letter P. Want me to find it for you? I will. Third row, third from the end. P. But what's above it? There's a dot above it. They snuck a vowel in on us. So it's die, S, po, po. There's a resh. We know what a resh looks like. What's underneath it? There's a flat line. I don't care if it's got a stem. We got to worry about flat lines. Diaspora. Well, why did you put this there? Well, because you got to get used to seeing it. I just want you to get comfortable with seeing that sometimes in Hebrew, just like we have silent letters at the end of words, they have silent letters at the end of words. And that is a hey. We already found it once. Top row, third from the end. But what does it do? It just makes the sound of air coming out. So they use it kind of like a silent letter. Diaspora, the diaspora, where the people of Israel, the Jewish people, were booted out. And where were they booted out from? Well, I already told you. Oh, by the way, that was 12. Well, they were booted out from where they lived. They were booted out to the land that they were promised by God. They were booted out to the land from the land that they lived for centuries. So where were they booted out from? I like to call it this. They were booted out from their 7 points. I even used this word a few times. The Jewish people were kicked out, booted out, punted out, chased out from their very own, sound it out, use your decoding skills. I've even said this word unintentionally a few times. We got no place to live anymore. I've lived here. I lived there. My father and mother grew up there. My grandparents. This is what people back then were thinking. Wait a minute. My great grandparents have lived here all along. And now you're telling me I can't live here anymore? You're kicking me out of my own this? That's not fair. That's not right. That's just not right. That's cruel and hurtful.
How many points?
7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 7 points. Did you get it? Did you get it? Did you get it? I think you did. I think you did. The Jewish people, long ago, were kicked out of their homeland. Israel is the promised homeland to the Jewish people. It happened like 2,000 years ago. 2,000 years ago. That's a long time. That's a long time to not have a homeland. This is a hey. Remember? Makes the sound of the letter H. Well, there's nothing below it, nothing above it, but I still make the H sound. But what am I going to add that H sound to? Aha, the O. Ho, ho. There's a mem, a little igloo with a silent vowel. Ho, m. What is that? That beautiful little letter is called a lamed. Lamed. Because to me, I guess you could say, well, it kind of looks more like a camel, but it kind of looks like a lamed. Lamed. Home, lama e. Home le. Home le. There's a nun. It's straight off of your dreidel. Neskado hayasham. Sham. Sorry. Want me to find you a nun? I will. Oh, I didn't find you where the lamed is. That wonderful, beautiful little lamed. It's in the second row, second from the end. And then that nun is the second one in the third row. Homeland. Homeland. And there's my dalet with the corner, just like a right angle there. Homeland. We were kicked out of our own homeland. That's not right. That was 7 points. Hey, who kicked us out? They weren't really nice to us. They destroyed the temple. Back then there weren't temples all over the place. If you wanted to go to temple, you had to travel to the one big temple. There's one wall, the western wall of that temple, that remains to this day. But those bad guys, they kicked us, they destroyed the temple, and they said, sorry, Jewish people, out. It's not your land anymore. Get out. Who were the people that did that to us? It's not really nice. Man, I'm gonna find those people and give them a what for. Who were the people that did that to us? This is who they were. Found them. I will give you 10. Ready? Sound it out. Lots of bad guys to the Jewish people over these years. These were the bad guys that said, you can't live here anymore. You can die or you can get the heck out. And so the diaspora began and we were booted out to find new homes. These were the guys that did this to us. These were the people that did it to us. They make me so mad. Long time ago, 2,000 years ago. Let's see. Are there any new letters here? Yes, there is. There's a new letter. All the other letters we've seen. Looks like you've got an exception to worry about. This is the nation, or these are the people who said, we're sick and tired of you living here. This is ours now. Get out. 2,000 years ago. And it took a long time to get back. Can you get it? Can you get it? If I didn't give you a value on this one, that's a hard one. Hmm. Yeah, I think if I said 10, sorry, but if I didn't say 10, it is 10. I'll give you 10 points if you get the people that kicked us out. Do you have it yet? Do you have it yet? I hope you do. And even if you've never heard of, like, well, you've probably heard of that word. If you're not sure of that word, just sound it out and trust yourself because you're a good expert decoder. Everybody, here we go. Are you ready? Are you ready? The people that kicked out the Jewish people of their homeland, it was the Roman. Have you heard of the city of Rome in Italy? Well, there wasn't just Italy. They were all over the planet. They ruled almost the entire world, or at least half of the known world. The Romans, where the city of Rome is now, that was one giant thing. Roman. Wait, he already showed us a nun. That's not a nun. Yes, it is. It's a final nun. That long piece of black licorice is a final nun. It's one of those other letters that if you use the nun at the end of the word, they make you use a final kind of it. Want me to find it for you? Okay. Third row, third one. Roman. Well, they didn't call it the Roman country because they were bigger than that. And they didn't call it the Roman kingdom because they were even bigger than that. They called themselves the Roman Empire. The Roman Empire. Iron. Silent letter, but the spot isn't silent. Eh. Mem, silent. M. Roman M. There's that upside down G thingy with a dot in the middle. Remember that pay? Remember it? Third row, third from the end. P a pa p I pie. Like a piece of pie. Empire I, and there's my resh. It's got a nice little curve. Um, Bottom row, fourth one. The Roman Empire. They were pretty tough. They weren't very nice. And they figured, I don't care if you've been living here forever. Now that we're here, it's ours. Not real nice way to go about trying to keep a nice, peaceful world. I'm going to skip this one. So over the thousands of years, when the Romans kicked us out and we landed wherever we could find a place to live and practice our religion and maybe try to make a living, there's been lots of people that have occupied and said, no, this is ours now. And then another group would come in and say, no, this is ours now. And then 100 years would go by or 500 years, and another group would say, nope, this is ours now. All the while, it was really ours. Someone else was saying it was theirs. Oh my goodness, there were the Greeks. There were the Assyrians, there were the Babylonians, then there were those bad Romans. Then there was an empire called the Ottoman Empire. And wait, an Ottoman? That's where I put my feet up. That's an Ottoman. Well, the Ottoman Empire, have you ever heard of a country called Turkey? Turkey. Turkey. 500 years. They were really powerful. And then, guess who had it? Wow, I thought they were our friends. Guess who had Israel and said it was theirs? These guys. Another big empire. These guys said, well, we're here now. So Israel, the land of Israel, the Jewish homeland is ours. These guys. I'll make it 10 again. Ready? Go. It's this country. Believe it or not, this country. We're like really good buds now. Super good buds. Royally good buds. Get it? Royally good buds. Get it? Royally. We're really good friends. But back then, oh well, some people just like to control other people's living spaces and take them over. Um, these people owned our homeland. They let Jewish people live there and they tried to be nicer and let us have freedoms, but it still wasn't ours. This country that we're really good buddies with now speak the same language, for goodness sake. They were real. That's who said, well, we'll let you have a lot of freedom, but you can't have your country back. These guys. Did you get it? Did you get it? I'm going to give you 10 points. That's a word, and that's a word. We speak the same language. And it wasn't Canada. Canada's just a good friend. That's a word, and that's a word. Did you get it? Did you get all 10 points? Are you ready? Are you ready? I'm looking at the clock, and it's time to start speeding up. The people, the country, the nation, the empire. Not that empire from Star Wars, not the evil empire. They used to call it the British Empire. And the country is Great Britain. Great Britain. Great Britain. England, Scotland, Wales, Northern Ireland, Great Britain. Believe it or not, the English occupied Israel. And they were really, really as nice as they could be, but we couldn't rule ourselves. We didn't get many choices to make ourselves. We were told what to do by another country, Great Britain. So why is this Great Britain, everybody? 10 points if you got it. Gimel, silent. Oh, ooh, we haven't had a Gimel yet. Looks like a high heel boot, doesn't it? Want me to find you a Gimel? 1, 2, 3, 4. Top row, fourth one. Silent letter. G, 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 g. Resh, eh. Resh, eh, re. Resh, a, ray. Gray, gray. And there's my tav, right? Dot or not, it's a tav. Great. Hello, here's a new one. It's called a bet. It's the second letter. It makes the sound of the letter B. Second letter, top row. See it? It's got a little super tiny tail and a dot in the middle. B, b, silent vowel. B. Resh, superhero E. Bari, bari. There's a tav. Remember, oh, that's a tav and that's a tav. That's a tav and that's a tav. Doesn't matter, dot or not. What's underneath it? Eh. Burrita, burrita. Final none. Long piece of black licorice. Great Britain. The English? Really? I thought they were nice guys and our friends. Yeah, they are and they were, but they wanted to control something that really wasn't theirs. Um, Hope I got this right. Yeah, I did. Okay, you ready? I'm gonna give you a short one. There actually was someone, speaking of Great Britain, and he was part of the British government. And he said something, oh, right after the First World War in 1917, which seems like a long time ago, but considering that it took 2,000 years for us to come back home, that's less than, maybe just a little more than 100 years ago, not 2,000. And he was I was thinking he was the Homeland Secretary. I can't remember. Maybe the Foreign Secretary. That's right. He was in British government and he said, I would like to create a declaration. And I declare, in the name of the king or the queen, whoever was there at the time, that the Jewish people should be given a homeland of their own. Pretty cool stuff. Wow, over 100 years ago, way before 1948. This was his name. His first name was Arthur. You know, like King Arthur, or like Arthur, the, was he an aardvark? The Arthur cartoons? First name was Arthur. This was his last name. I'll give you 5 points. He created the declaration that was named for him. It was called the This Declaration. And it was the first time that anybody really had spoken up in a government of any country to say, you know what, you know what, you know what? The Jewish people all over the world deserve their very own country. His name was Arthur This. Do you think you have it? Do you think you have it? Do you think you have it? I hope so. Because his name was Arthur, 5 points, Balfour. Arthur Balfour. The Balfour Declaration. It's spelled Balfour, but it's pronounced Balfour. So you ready? Let's figure it out. We just had a bet. How many points? 7. Oh, no, sorry. 5. That was a fiver because it's a super tiny word. 5. Bet, be. Bet, be. What's the next letter? Lama, lama, lamed. Bell, bell. Upside down G thingy with no dot is a fe. We learned that second from the end on the third row. But what's above it? An O vowel. So it's not belf, belfo, belfo, and then a resh. Balfour, Balfour. The Balfour Declaration, which was kind of important at its time. But before the Balfour Declaration, let's see how time it is. I'll split them up. What I'm doing now that you can't see is I'm folding my card in half because I had two words on one card. So you're going to see a green comma after this. Ignore the comma. Way before that, way before 1917, there was a very, very important Jewish thinker. And this great Jewish thinker said, and he was from the middle of Europe, and he wasn't English. I believe he was Austrian, in the German-Austrian area. And he began to write some really radical stuff before anyone in government ever thought about it, like Balfour, way before that, like 50, 60 years even before that, where the Jewish people were still spread out all over the world and all over Europe. This fellow, whose first name was Theodore, said, the Jewish people, my people, we deserve our own homeland. We should be able to return to the homeland that we had and the homeland that was promised us by God. This is his last name. Super famous. Theodore, 7 points. Good luck. Remember, I folded it in half because I had two words on one. So that's just a comma. Theodore. Oh my goodness. We got a fun letter up there. Dun, dun, dun. Oh, you've seen this letter. You've seen that letter. I think we have seen this letter super early. Yeah, we did. Yeah, for Yom Ha'atz Ma'ut. And we've seen my Lama Lama Lamed. This is the guy's name, and I will give you 8 points. 8 points. Theodore. Theodore. A great Jewish writer and thinker, and I don't know if you've heard this word before, activist. Someone who really believed in a cause and wasn't just going to sit by and go, I believe in that cause. He tried to do something about it. His name was 8 points. Theodore Herzl. Theodore Herzl. Theodore Herzl. He was the first person who had the courage to stand up in a continent like Europe where there were lots of people around there. 8. 8. Herzl. 8. That said, we don't like these Jews very much. Every country didn't treat us very well at one time or another. Back in the 1200s and 11 and 1300s and 1400s and 1500s and 1600s and 17 and 18 in the 1800s, Theodore Herzl said, we need to have our own country. And he wrote about it and he spoke about it, and it became an idea for the first time in maybe almost 2,000 years. Are you ready? That's a hey. Hey plus is he. That's a resh. Resh, silent. R. Hair. Hair. That's a tzadi. We had this before. Tz, tz, tz. What's underneath it? Hair, tz. Hair, tz. Lama, lama, lamed. Herzl. It's actually spelled Herzl, but in German, if you have a Z in the middle of a word, you pronounce it tz, tz. Herzl. Theodore Herzl. I'm going to take the other half. So that was 8 points. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, If you have any pets around there, hello, puppies and kitties. I'm talking to you. He came up with this word for this movement, this idea that we should have our own homeland. This was Theodore Herzl came up with this brand new, well, the word wasn't new, but the idea of returning to our homeland was new. I'll give you 10 points because it's kind of weird. It's not a weird idea or a weird word. It's an interesting pronunciation. I hope you get it. This was his idea about a movement to gather people and say, this ought to be true. And this was the name of that movement. This was the name of that idea for the Jewish people to have our own homeland. Good luck. I bet you've heard of it. Um, hmm. I'll make it more than 10. I'll make it an AJ Brown, number 11 for the Eagles. 11 points if you get it. 11 points. Looks like an exception. And there's a vowel. There's a letter with a superhero. There's the same letter we started with, but now there's a silent vowel underneath it, and there is a letter. Are you ready? Are you ready? Are you ready? The clock she is ticking. This movement to bring the Jewish people back to the land of Israel was called. My goodness, time flies when you're having a whole lot of fun. It's already 7:29. Darn it. Zionism. 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 Return to the land of Zion. Sion. Sion. To return to the land of Zion. Zionism. That was the movement. Let's figure out why this is Zionism. And he was a Zionist, someone who believed that the Jewish people should have their homeland and return to the land that was promised to them by God, where we had settled for so many years, and then were booted out by those Romans. Are you ready? Zion, za. Oh, there's a Zion. Look at that little sideways beanie. Top row of your chart, last letter. Makes the sound of the letter Z. Z, za. Z, I, Zai. There's my O. Zai, O. Nun, superhero, ni, Zio, ni. Now there's a Zion again, but it's silent. So I just go Z. Zioniz. And there is a mem, a final mem. Remember? Final mem is in the third row, the very first one. A regular mem is in the second row, last one. Zionism, the movement to bring Jewish people back to the homeland promised to them by God that they had lived on for years and decades and centuries and then were booted out of. And I think I gave you how many for that? You know what? If you got it, give yourself 12 points. Give yourself 12 points if you got it. That was really good. Are you ready? Time for me to do math. 24, 34, 44, 54, 64, 70. Wow, that was easy. I hope I'm right on my math. Um, I've got a total of 81 points. If anybody out there, these were some hard ones. So, are you ready? I'll give you an Eagles Super Bowl. We won Super Bowl. See those Eagles behind me? Bless their hearts. I love them. Um, it was Super Bowl 59. If you got 59 points out of 81 points, you get a prize. I'm not going to bring it to you. Prizes are in my room. Come in and say, I got a 67. I got a run, perfect score. Or I got a 73, whatever you got. Or if you just got a 59, 59 counts. 59 or above, use the honor system. I trust you. Are you kidding? I trust all of you. So, thank you, everybody. As usual, this was just the best. Thank you so, so much for coming. So the magic number was 81 and your magic number was 59. I may see some of you Wednesday, or maybe I'll see some of you, or maybe I'll see parents at Yom HaAtzmaut, the celebration of Israel Independence Day here at Temple Beshalom on Thursday. Happy Israel Independence Day, everyone. That's all I got for you. Thank you so, so much. Have a wonderful, wonderful night. And for those of you who come Wednesday, I'll see you tomorrow.
Thank
Have a great.
you.
Oh, you're welcome. Thank you. Thank you, everybody, for coming. It's my favoriteest part of the year. Well, favorite part of the week. I love it. I love it. I love it. Thanks, everybody. Have a
Thank
bestest.
you.
You're welcome. Have the bestest, most wonderful of nights, okay?
You're the best teacher ever.
Oh my goodness.
Amen. Yes, you are.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah.
That's so oh my goodness. Write a letter.
I agree.
Best teacher ever.
Someone tell
Yeah.
thank you so much. Someone tell the powers that be around here. That's so nice to hear. I love it because I got to tell you something. This is my oxygen, everybody. This is what I breathe. It keeps me alive. I love doing this for you. And for you to say those kind things and to be here every week means the world to me. Thank you so much.
Teacher.
Thank you all so much. Have you seen this where someone does something really perfect in a restaurant and making it and the chef comes out and goes, "Mwah, perfect." They call it a chef's kiss. Mwah. Thank you to everybody. Have a wonderful night, everybody. And thank you for saying such wonderful, wonderful, wonderful things. Good night. Bye.